सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Children will chant the first verse and the last verse of the Dhyana shlokas together. Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. So children, we saw what first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita talked about. Lord Krishna talked about what? He talked about what is the real nature of the person. That is, he told Arjuna, Arjuna, you are not this body, but you are the Atma within the body. And also, what did Krishna talk about next? What is Karma Yoga? He talked about Karma Yoga as a necessary preparatory test or a preparatory requirement to understand Atma Jnanam, to understand who I am, what I am not the body, I am the Atma. This knowledge is very difficult to understand because we are not exposed to that knowledge frequently. Therefore, what did Krishna say? To understand this difficult thing, your mind has to be prepared. Therefore, you must become a Karma Yogi. And Lord Krishna explained what is the meaning of Karma Yoga in the 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter. Correct? And then he also talked about the role of self-effort. Uddhare tatmana atmanam. One must have the self-effort to understand this knowledge. One must put one's own effort. Correct? Supposing you want to pass the examination, okay, and go from 7th standard to 8th standard. Now, your effort is also very important in addition to God's grace. Correct? You can't simply pray to God and say, I am praying to you, God. I will pray to you daily, so you pass me in the examination. You can't say that, isn't it? God will help you to pass the examination provided you have put your effort. Correct? Therefore, your effort and God's grace, your effort and God's blessings, both are equally important. So what did Krishna talk about in the 6th chapter? He talked about self-effort. So the first 6 chapters talked about these 3 things. Now we are going to the 7th chapter, and from the 7th chapter to the 12th chapter, what is Krishna talking about? He is going to tell Arjuna as to, okay Arjuna, I told you, you are not the body but you are the Atma. I told you in the first 6 chapters, what is it you really are. Now Arjuna, from 7th chapter to 12th chapter, I will tell you what I am. I should know what is God also, no? Knowing what I am is not sufficient. I should know what God is also. So naturally Arjuna will ask the question, okay Krishna, you told me who I am. You told me I am not the body. You told me I am the Atma. What about you, Krishna? What about God? What is God? Is God the way he appears? with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Chakra and Shankha, Padma, Gada in the hand? Or is God something other than that appearance? Who are you? If I am not this body, if I am the Atma, then who are you, Krishna? That is what is going to be asked by even Arjuna, correct? So, in the 7th chapter to the 12th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna is going to talk about himself, about God, about Bhagavan. He will tell Arjuna who I am. I means what? Who is Bhagavan? What is the real nature of Bhagavan? What you see outside as Rama, Krishna, Ganapati, Devi, all those things which you see, are they really me or there is something other than that? So who am I? Who is God? What is God? What is my nature? That is what is going to be talked about in the 7th chapter to the 12th chapter. Then he's going to talk about what? Remembering God all the time. That Krishna says, knowing me, you have to start meditating upon me. You have to think of me. You have to worship me. How do you worship me? What is the way of worshipping? When you worship God, it is called as upasana. When we offered all our actions to God, it was called what? Karma yoga, correct? Now, in the 7th chapter onwards, Lord Krishna will tell Arjuna how to do upasana, how to meditate upon God, how to actually worship God. Okay, so who am I? He's going to say, what is God? What is the nature of God? How should you worship God? And ultimately, what is my grace? Your self effort is there, but then I will have to be showing my grace to you also. If you have made your effort properly, if self effort is put properly, then I will also completely give you my blessings. Okay, like Swami says, no, you do your job. I will bless you. Only my blessings will not work. The more you take your effort, the more you put your effort, the more blessings will come from me. Doesn't Swami say that? You put your effort more and more, my blessings will become more and more. I will bless you more and more. My blessings will reach you more. That's what Krishna is also telling here. He says in the 7th chapter onwards, hey Arjuna, I will tell you 3 things now in the next 6 chapters. What are those 3 things? I will tell you who I am. What is this God? Who am I? What is the meaning of God? I will tell you. Secondly, Arjuna, I will tell you how to do or how to worship me, how to meditate upon me, which Lord calls as upasana. Upasana means how to remember God, how to meditate upon God, how to worship God. That is called as upasana. And then what is bhakti? What is the meaning of loving God? What is the meaning of surrendering to God? And when you surrender to me with bhakti and with love, my grace, my blessings are always with you. So these are the 4 things which Lord Krishna is going to talk about from 7th chapter to the 12th chapter. Okay, so he's going to talk about how to worship with love, surrender, bhakti. How can we worship something? We should love that thing, correct? Supposing we worship our parents. How? We love them, we surrender to them, and then we worship them, correct? You can't worship something without having love and surrender. So what is love for God? What is surrendering to God? What is bhakti? And how to worship me? What is the meaning of upasana? When my blessings and grace become useful to you, all these things Lord Krishna is going to talk about in these 4 chapters, 5, 6 chapters, 7 chapter to the 12th chapter. So what does Krishna talk about in the 7th chapter now? Let us come to that. Now, Bhagwan Krishna wants to describe himself Like what is Arjuna? Arjuna is a human being. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Correct? Huh? And what is Arjuna's role? What is Arjuna's Swadharma? To fight the war for justice. What is actually his purpose in society? Arjuna should protect the society. Arjuna should protect dharma. Correct? So all this is description of Arjuna. Correct? Now Bhagavan wants to describe himself. How can God describe himself? Bhagavan Krishna describes himself as what? He describes himself as the very cause of this whole universe. Now I will explain to you what it means. Supposing now, see this chain is here. You are seeing this chain that Amma is wearing, correct? When you see this chain, it is a product, correct? It is a product. It is something which is there in your hand, chain. Now for this to become the chain, there were two causes involved, correct? One is the material called as gold. Supposing this is a silver chain, it will be a material called as silver, correct? So every product has two causes. Okay, when you see anything, there are two things involved in it. One is the material with which it is made, number one. Secondly, there is some intelligent principle, somebody who converts that basic material into something else. Now let us take this chain. What is the basic material of this chain? Gold is the basic material. So what do we call this chain? What is the material cause? Gold is the material cause of the chain. Correct? Supposing I show you a mud pot. I show you a mud pot. What is this? This is a pot. What is it made of? It is made of clay or mud. So what is clay? It is the material with which the pot is made. Therefore, what is clay? Clay is the material cause of the pot. Correct? What is this? This is a chain. What is it made up of? It is made up of gold. So what is the material with which this chain is made? Gold is the material. Therefore, gold is the material cause of this chain. Correct? So that is the first cause. Then simply gold, if you keep like that, one biscuit or one coin of gold, will it automatically change into the chain or the ring or bangles? No. Correct? Supposing you keep one big ball of clay, will it automatically turn into a pot? No. There should be somebody who will convert the clay to pot. And who is he? He is the pot man. Correct? He is the pot maker. So, similarly, if this has to be converted to a chain from gold, who has to convert it? A goldsmith is necessary to convert. Correct? Simply gold will not become a chain. I have to tell the goldsmith, I want a chain from this gold. So the chain maker, who's called as the goldsmith, will make this chain. Correct? Huh? So, who is this maker? Who is this goldsmith? Who is the one who made this chain? He is the intelligent cause. Correct? Intelligent cause. Somebody who has the intelligence to convert gold into a chain. He is called as the intelligent cause. Correct? So, for anything to appear, for any product that you see, anything you see in this. Now you see this is what? Cell phone. What is this cell phone made up of? It is made up of plastic, glass, so many things, materials are involved in it, correct? Then there is somebody who puts all of them together, the cell phone manufacturer. He is the intelligent cause behind putting everything together, correct? Now you take a vehicle, you take a cycle. You have two wheels, then you have one seat, one handlebar, then you have the chain which connects the two wheels. Supposing you keep all these things together, you keep two wheels in one place. In one place, you keep two cycle wheels, you keep one bar, you keep one chain, you keep one seat, keep one handlebar there. Can you call it cycle? You can't call it cycle, no? Okay. When is it called a cycle? When a person puts it properly into proper place. Correct? The wheels should be where they are. The seat should be where it should be. The handlebar should be in front. It should not be behind. The chain should not be above. It should be below, connecting the two wheels. So, some person in the cycle manufacturing industry has put all these things together intelligently so that it is workable, so that you can use it as a cycle. Correct? Similarly, if this gold has to be converted into a gold chain, just the material gold is not sufficient. There should be an intelligent cause, an intelligent principle who knows how to make this chain, how to create this chain, how long it should be, how short it should be, where should be the pin, what should be the pendant, all that, the goldsmith or the chain maker knows. Correct? So anything you see, whatever you see, is a product. It is called as an effect or a product. Okay? And that product, anything that you see, has two causes. One is the material cause, the other one is called as the intelligent cause. So there are two causes now for everything. So what does Bhagavan say here? Look, Arjuna, the whole Jagat means what? Universe outside. What is the meaning of universe? All the things that you see in the world outside. The trees, the animals, bodies, the mountains, the rivers, all the galaxies, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything that you see outside when you open your eyes. What do you see? You see the whole world outside, correct? So what does Krishna say? He says, look, Arjuna, this whole world that you see is a product. Like this is a product, chain. Pot is a product. Clay pot is a product. Cell phone is a product. Correct? This steel glass, this is a product. Correct? So he says, the whole world that you see, anything in this world you see, that is a product. And behind this product, to make this product, two causes are necessary. One is the material cause and the other one is the intelligent cause. Okay? We have two words in Sanskrit for that, which Bhagavan uses. Simply listen, you don't have to bother to remember. The material cause in our scriptures is called as upadana karanam, material cause. The intelligent cause, or the person who makes that, creates that out of a material, is called as the nimitta karanam. Don't bother. Don't worry about remembering this. Just remember that every product has two causes. The material with which it is made causes the material cause, and an intelligent brain behind, okay, which is going to convert the material into the final product. You are understanding what I am saying? So there are two causes for anything. So what does Krishna say? Krishna says that the entire universe, the entire world outside is a product. If the world is a product, what is the material with which it is made? Bhagavan says, I am the material with which it is made. I am the material cause of this entire Jagat outside. And I am also the intelligent cause, the maker, the creator of the universe. So Krishna says, I am the material from which the whole universe is made. And I am the very maker, and I create the whole universe. Now you may be wondering, how is it possible that the maker and the material cannot be one and the same, isn't it? In a clay pot, the clay is different, and the pot maker is different. In a gold chain, the cause material gold is different and the goldsmith is different. Then how can Lord Krishna say that I, God, is both the material and also the maker of this universe? How can you say that? It is possible. Now, there is an example given in our scriptures. Have you all heard of a spider? You have heard of a spider? Spider, correct? What does the spider do? A spider creates a web, correct? A spider creates a web. Where does he create the web from? The material comes from its own stomach. The material is not outside. The spider has that sticky material inside its stomach. So what does this spider do? It brings out that sticky material from inside its stomach, creates a beautiful web for itself, where it can catch all the insects and eat. So who's the material cause for the web? The spider itself is the material cause. And who is the creator of the web? The spider itself is the creator of the web. So if a small insect like a spider can create a web out of its own self, why not Bhagwan create the whole universe? Correct? If the spider can do that, okay, what about Bhagwan? Bhagwan is all intelligence, correct? Bhagwan is all intelligence. Bhagwan has all the knowledge. Bhagwan owns everything. Everything belongs to Bhagwan. Therefore, Bhagwan says, he says, look, I am the two causes of this entire universe. Universe means what? The world. Whatever you see, whatever is there in this world outside you, outside when you see, hey Arjuna, I am the material with which the whole world is made. I am the very intelligent maker of this entire universe. And therefore, he says, Arjuna, the material with which my material, that material which is me, from which this whole universe is made, he says it is called as apara prakriti. Prakriti. Prakriti means what? Material. Remember, prakriti means material. Apara prakriti. That means that material with which the whole universe is made, that is also me. But the name given by God, by Bhagavan, to that is called apara prakriti. Then who is the intelligent maker? He says, I am only the intelligent maker of this universe. And as the maker, as the intelligent cause, I am para prakriti. Therefore, apara prakriti, my apara prakriti, I am as though I am two inseparable. The cause, the material and the maker are not separate from each other. That is Bhagwan. Bhagwan is both the material as well as the maker of the world. Are you understanding, children? Just like, a spider is the material as well as the maker of the web. Whereas other things what? Here the chain, gold is the material, goldsmith is the maker. In a clay pot, clay is the material and the pot maker is the maker. Whereas in the world outside, Bhagwan says, who am I? Hey Arjuna, who am I? I am the very material and the maker of this whole world. Okay? And he says that, hey Arjuna, I am going to give you the knowledge of myself. What is this material called as apara prakriti? What is this maker called as para prakriti? I am going to talk to you about both these things. So he says in the second verse of the seventh chapter, the seventh chapter is called as Jnana Vignana Yoga. Jnana Vignana Yoga. What is the meaning of Jnana Vignana? I will not only give you the knowledge of myself as the maker and the material of this world. Not only this knowledge I will give you, Arjuna, but I will give you this knowledge in such a way that you will understand it very, very clearly. You will be able to assimilate it very, very clearly, which is called as Vignanam. Jnanam means what? Knowledge. Vignanam means what? Well understood knowledge is called as Vignanam. So he said, what did he say here? He told here that in the seventh chapter, in the second verse, what did he say? jnānaṁ teham sa-vijñānam idaṁ vakṣhyāmyaśheṣhataḥ yajñātvā neha bhūyo nyātavyam-avaśhiṣhyate. So Arjuna, don't worry about this chanting. When you come back to the school, when you are back in your schools, you will be taught chanting, because online we can't teach you chanting, because when I say you, when it will become, it will not have the proper coordination. So when you are all back in school, no, your acharyas will teach you how to chant the entire Bhagavad Gita, at least important verses. So here what is he saying? Hey Arjuna, I will give you the knowledge of what? Myself. Who am I? I am the material with which the whole world is made. I am also the maker of this whole world. And knowing this knowledge, understanding it very clearly, Vignanam, I will help you to understand it. Then there is nothing more to know. Correct? If you know what this world is, if you know what Bhagwan is, if you understand that Bhagwan is, God is the maker as well as the material with which everything is made, what is there more to know? There is nothing more to know. And he says, this knowledge is very, very, a very, very sacred knowledge, Arjuna. Many people don't want to go into this knowledge because it is difficult to understand. Yes, it is difficult. It is not very easy to understand. It is difficult to understand. And many people are not interested in this. Very few people want to know me. Very few people are interested in knowing who I am, what I am. Most of the people are interested only in what? Asking me for this, asking me for that. Bhagwan, give me this, give me that, pass me in the examination. Okay, get rid of this thing, create, remove my illness. Okay, if you pass me in the examination, I will break one coconut or vade hara. I will put vade hara to Hanuman, or I will put, that karchikai hara to Ganapati. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? We all pray to God. And what do? Hey God, if you do this for me, I will do this for you. No problem. There's nothing wrong in that. But then nobody wants to know me. Everybody only wants to bribe me with small things to get whatever they want. But very few people want to know me. So in the next verse, in the third verse of the 7th chapter, Krishna is lamenting. Krishna is feeling very bad. He says, manuṣhyāṇāṁ sahasreṣhu kaśhchid yatati siddhaye yatatāм api siddhānāṁ kaśhchin māṁ vetti tattvataḥ. Hey Arjuna, I'm so sorry to tell you, Arjuna, people want to know everything, but nobody wants to know me. Manuṣhyāṇāṁ sahasreṣhu, among thousands of people, very few people want to really know me, my real nature. Very few people know me as the material and the maker of this whole world. Nobody is interested. People are only interested in getting things from the world. They are not interested in knowing what is this world, who is this Bhagwan, who made this world, why is the world like this, what is the cause of this world, who is Bhagwan. How many people want to know? Nobody wants to know. One rare person among thousands of people want to know. Even among those who make efforts to know, they give up in the middle. Why? Because it is difficult to understand. They feel that yes, it is not that easy. Yes, Krishna also says, yes, it is not that easy. It is difficult. You have to listen to me again and again. You have to think over that again and again. You have to contemplate and meditate on me, whatever I have taught you again and again. It is not possible to learn in one lesson. See, physics, chemistry, maths only we cannot learn in one lesson, correct? Isn't it? Some equation you are taught now. It is so difficult. First 2-3 classes, you won't even know what that equation is. It takes you a few weeks to understand. Correct? Then what about Atma-jnanam? What about the nature of Bhagwan? Isn't it? So what happens? Very few people want to know what is Bhagwan, what is this world. And among those people who want to know Bhagwan also, in the middle only they will give up. Why? because they feel like, oh, it is so difficult. Why should I bother to know what is Bhagavan? Why should I bother to know what this world is? As long as I am living happily, why should I bother? So people are not interested. Even those who try, they give up in the middle. So very few people ultimately really understand me and become sthita prajnas. We saw sthita prajna, a wise man, correct? Some people attempt to know me. Many of them drop out in the middle. Okay? And then among those who pursue with their self effort, I will also give them my grace. I will give them my blessings. But it's not easy. It takes time. It takes time to understand me. It takes many, many years. Therefore, many people don't have the patience. They give up. And very few people ultimately succeed in knowing me as what? I am the very cause of this entire manifest world. So Bhagwan introduces himself as what? I am the Jagat Karanam. Okay? Just like chain Karanam is gold and goldsmith. Correct? Pot Karanam is what? Clay and potman, pot maker. Similarly, Krishna says, I am the maker and the material cause of this world. Therefore, I am Jagat Karanam, the cause of this world. Arjuna, may you know me to be the cause of this world. That knowledge is the ultimate knowledge. Just like Atmajnanam, I told you about your real nature. Now I will tell you my real nature, Arjuna. I am not what the whole thing looks, different names, different forms, beautiful world outside. But who's the maker? Who is the material? I am the maker as well as the material of this entire world. Do you know why at such a young age you people we are trying to introduce this? Because we want you children to develop an interest in knowing this. That is why. Okay, because you may not now understand everything, no problem. And we are not trying to teach you everything that is there in Bhagavad Gita. We are only trying to expose you to very, very important and the necessary verses only. The shlokas which will create an interest in you so that when you grow up, when you develop a more mature mind, you will have interest. Oh, long back, 10 years ago, Amma told me that the whole world, Bhagwan is the material and the maker of this whole world. Amma told me. That time I did not understand it. Yes, because you are still young. But then that time, now I must understand what it is. Now my mind is mature enough. I have grown up. I am capable of understanding. Now I should start studying properly, understanding what Bhagwan was trying to tell Arjuna in the Gita. Okay, that is why we want all of you to develop this interest sometime or the other that you will go deep into this. That is why Swami is very particular that at this age only you are at least given a small amount of this knowledge, little bit, so that you get interest. Some seeds we are sowing. Okay, 7th chapter, big 30 slokas, but we are not going to talk about all the 30 slokas. Only going to talk about very, very important topics. What is the karanam? What is the cause of this jagat? Secondly, what is bhakti? What are the types of bhaktas that are there? That we are going to talk about. Then he says that how is this whole world created by me? So he says in the 4th verse, he says, bhūmir-āpo nalo vāyuḥ khaṁ mano buddhireva cha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtadha. He says, hey Arjuna, the material with which I am the material, I told you. My apara prakriti is the material with which the whole world is made. What does it contain? What is that material? When Bhagwan says, I am the material and I am the maker. What is this material which is meant by Bhagwan? Bhagavan says, I create the whole world out of the 5 elements. 5 elements. These 5 elements are what? They are me only. They are actually in me. They are the material. They belong to my apara prakriti, the material cause. And what are they? The 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Krishna says that space, akasha, vayu, the wind or the air, okay, agnihi, the fire principle, apaha, the water principle, and bhumihi, the earth principle. So what Krishna says is the entire world is made up of these 5 elements: space, space principle, then air principle, then fire principle, water principle, and earth principle. Now let us look at ourselves only. In our own body we'll see. Is there space or not inside our lungs? There is space inside our lungs, no? There is space inside our stomach or not? There is space inside our stomach. But there is no empty space in our brain, huh? Correct? Is there empty space in our brain? No. Correct? Our brains are all very, very well prepared for this. So there is space in our stomach. That's why good noise comes when we are hungry. Correct? Correct? The space here. Then there is space in the lungs. That is why the air can go in and come out. Correct? So we are also made up of those 5 elements. What space? Then wind, vayu, means air. Air principle. There is air everywhere. Inside our stomach there is air. Inside our mouth there is air. Inside our ears there is air. Everywhere, yeah. If you do like this, there is air here. We can swallow air. Lungs, there is air. So there is air also in us. Then agnihi, the heat principle inside our body, temperature. All of us are 98.4 degrees. Correct? Huh? There is that heat principle. There is heat, temperature. Every body has maintained its temperature. Correct? We have a normal temperature. If it becomes more, then we are sick. If it becomes less, then also we are sick. Correct? So a proper temperature. Then there is a digestive fire inside us. When we eat something, there is a digestion, cooking process. Whatever food we eat gets cooked inside our stomach again. By what principle? Fire principle. Correct? Then what is there? Water, apaha, water. Our whole body, 90% of our body, 75 to 80% to 90% of our body is water principle. Understood? That is why when we are dehydrated, what happens? We lose weight. We look like this. No, when we have lot of loose motions, vomiting and all that, what happens? Water goes outside the body and then shape becomes less. We become all shape out. So there is more than 75% of our body is water. Blood is flowing, it is water. Lymph is flowing, it is water. Correct? Digestive juices are there, it is water principle. Everything, there is so much of water inside our body. And then Prithvi, all the solid material in our body, the cells that are made up of, the bones, the cartilage. You have all heard of all these terms, isn't it? All these are made up of what? The Prithvi principle. All the hard things, the teeth, the enamel of the teeth, the bones, okay, bone marrow, okay, all the cells, the brain and all the other cells which are solid structures in the body, they are made up of earth principle. So if our body is a representative of the world outside, our body is nothing but that made up of 5 elements. What is that? Space, air, fire, water, and earth principle. So Krishna says here that what is that basic material which is me in me, from which the whole world is created? Like the spider creates its web from some material inside, sticky material. Those materials are the 5 elements. So Krishna says, Arjuna, you may be wondering, when Bhagavan says, I am the material with which the whole universe is made. I am the material and the maker. What is this material? What is the meaning of material? So here Krishna says the five elements are the material by which the whole world is made. Who converts these five elements into the material world outside? I, the intelligent principle called as Paraprakriti. I, the Paraprakriti, create the material world out of the five elements. Okay, so what is it that Bhagavan is trying to say here? He says that I am the one who is both the material and the maker of the whole world. This is my identity. This is my introduction. Bhagwan is introducing himself like you introduce yourself, no? What do you say? You say, I am Pavan. I am the son of so and so. I am doing this. Correct, Pavan? You introduce yourself, no? So how is Bhagwan introducing himself? Bhagwan is introducing himself to Arjuna as Arjuna, I am the material cause and also the maker cause of this whole world. And what do? I use the five elements called as the Panchabhutas and then create the whole universe. And who creates this universe? There is that material in me which is called as Apara Prakriti. And I, the intelligent principle, is called as Paraprakriti. Now, Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti are not separate from each other. They cannot be there without each other. The material requires the maker. The maker cannot create without the material. The material automatically cannot become the product. Therefore, Arjuna, I am the inseparable material and the maker of whatever you are seeing outside. Therefore, who is Bhagavan? Who is God? God is the very cause of this entire world. What kind of a cause? God is the material cause as well as the maker of this entire universe. Therefore, where is God? Wherever there is world, there is God. Correct? Where is gold in this chain? Everywhere there is gold, no? In this chain, gold is everywhere. Can you say gold is only here, gold is not here? No. In a clay pot, where is the clay? The whole pot is nothing but clay. Similarly, if Bhagavan is the cause, material, and also the maker of this whole world, then where is Bhagavan? The whole world is nothing but Bhagavan. Okay, the whole world is Bhagavan, either as the material or as the maker. That is what he is going to explain in the other verses that we'll take up on Thursday, where Krishna says, wherever you see the Jagat, whatever you see, it is nothing but me, because I am the cause of this entire world. So who am I? Bhagavan says, just like Arjuna said, Arjuna, you are not the body, you are the Atma. Similarly, who am I? I am the very maker and the material of this whole world. Therefore, where can you find me? You don't have to search for me. The whole world, I am there. Whatever you see, you are seeing me. Whatever you touch, you are touching me. Now, when I am touching this chain, what am I touching? I am touching gold. Correct? I'm touching the chain, but I'm touching the gold. I'm wearing the chain, but I'm wearing gold. Similarly, whenever I see the world, I'm seeing God. Whatever I'm touching in the world, I'm touching God. Whenever I'm speaking to anybody, I'm speaking to God. Whatever I'm getting from the world, I'm getting from God. So, Krishna says, I am there. Everything in this world is nothing but me. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.